least feel it to make sure it's in that 810. It's a little bit wobbly in that center tent, but turn it 45 degrees off on one side or another, you'll feel the difference. You can tell it's not heavy tent there when you do that.
Avionics power switch, autopilot, so it's off, brakes, how do you test it?
Okay. Actually, I'm by yourself first. You'll feel this that little bit of pressure because when yours goes more. Now when I activate mine, goes over yours. Okay, now go to yours. The difference?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, you can feel that pressure.
I got you. Circuit breakers, I checked those, they're good. Mixture rich. Carburetor heat cold. Master switch on. Again, we're just doing the one, right?
Yeah, we'll bring the alternator on. That's correct.
Okay. Primers required. Clear. Ignition switch.
Make sure on the brakes. And right now.
Alright, out here. Got me? Gotcha. Alright. So here's my thing on that strobe light. We already got the beacon on. That strobe, if you get in the habit of having it on, you get in a low light visibility situation or night on the ramp, that strobe is real disorienting to other people. So I tend to leave that off when I'm not on the runway. Okay. So let's turn that off and leave the beacon on. That way people still see that flashing red light, but it's not nearly as disorienting as that strobe is. Okay. Just sort of a safety encouraging thing for people around us. Alright, makes sense.
Central confirmation, Lima Car.
Alright, let's go 123.85. 123.85.
Initial contact information, Lima. Wake regional information, Lima. 1951 Zulu. Wind calm, visibility 10, sky clear. Center 28, dew point 8, altimeter 3005. Visual approach needs to be
30.05.
North to airman, runway 1432 closed. All two restricted low approach are authorized. All taxis west runway 119 are closed. Runway 1432 Pavia service. Advise on initial contact information, Lima.
005.
Yep.
Perfect.
Wake regional information, Lima. 1951 Zulu. Wind calm, visibility 10, sky clear.
Nice.
Center 28,
121.9, so we're not listening to him anymore.
1.121 what?
0.990. There we go. Alright, what are we showing on the mag compass here?
Showing 015.
Okay, we'll go ahead and set that heading.
Waco ground, ramp flight 9.
Ramp flight 9, Waco ground.
We're 414 coming out of ramp. I just need to go up to, I guess, Lake Whitney and back 3,500 feet. I have Lima, and if you would...
You want to adjust this while we're sitting? Remember how it was?
It looks really good right now, actually. And we're not going to be using that instrument for orientation day. We're going to use outside.
Okay.
But from where we sit right now, that's level.
All right.
Skyhawk 1080 Foxtrot Lake advance. Skyhawk 80 Foxtrot, roger, full position shortly, 414 will be taxiing out, and then 1T clears your way, I'll be taxi.
Dude, that's another illegal instruction. We're on a non-movement area. They can't tell you the whole position.
Right?
The law's the law.
You just spend a day or two a week up there in the tower and teach them how to do it.
Their bosses need to. That's another new controller. And when they do something like that, their trainer is supposed to jump on and say, basically, would you mind holding position? Okay, I wouldn't mind, but...
Had that thing a little high, didn't we?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and lean it too. While we sit here.
Oh wait, gotta go to 1700?
No, you can lean it actually too. You'll get the same phenomenon. You'll get a little rise and a little drop.
Skyhawk 80 Foxtrot runway 1.
Now 4.
Delta. Traffic, you're just looking at eastbound departure. Roger.
Alright, we're good to go. If you want to go ahead and turn us out, we're just going to follow him out. As long as you're on this stripe here, or this crack here, you're clear.
Departure information available, advisory copy.
I'm ready, go ahead.
Departure frequency 126.12, squawk 5137.
5137, coming up.
Skyhawk 80 Foxtrot, do you need to do an engine run-up, or would you rather have the intersection departure?
When did you say that Mr. Ellison could come and check this out? Why it's not?
I've been trying to get a hold of him. He was out this morning doing an IFR cert on the Musketeer. He's going 90 miles to nothing. That was actually his wife setting up the billing for the Musketeer job. He's supposed to be out here again next week. I asked him, is there something you can show me? Well, no, it should be in subtones.
So it probably is going to require a little work, you think, or?
I don't know. I still think there must be a setting somewhere I'm not seeing.
It took Mike a few minutes to try and figure out how to work this thing.
Yeah. That's why most of what I mess with is just the transmit switch right here.
We staying on Alpha all the way to 19
on Delta, yeah.
01?
Yeah, we're on Delta. Black's where you're at. Black's where you're at. Yellow ray points the way.
I knew that. I don't know why I messed up. What's he doing?
He's going to do a run-up.
So we want to wait behind him?
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to come around here on this side. I'm going to do our run-up too, and I'm going to tell him what we're going to do. Yeah.
Behind him?
Yeah.
Okay, 0 Foxtrot, roger.
Just sort of pull up wingtip to wingtip with them.
Okay.
Like we own the place.
Alright.
About here, you can just cut in that direction, pull up parallel to them, and knock it out.
Straighten the wheels.
Alright.
1700.
Let's do the flight controls first.
Oh. Alright. Right side up. Side up. Free movement.
Okay.
Okay, now do the full.
There we go.
Range of
Wipe 'em
motion.
out.
Alright.
Alright. Mixture rich then 700.
Now whenever you push this in, does it mess up the lean setting that we already did, or?
It does, but we're going to reset it.
Okay.
Because that leaning that we did worked just fine for idle, but it isn't going to work at takeoff power.
And ramp flight 9 will be...
Alright, there's 1700.
Okay, let's go ahead and lean.
Waco Tower, proceed on course runway 1, clear for takeoff. Lake Whitney and back, thank you. Clear for takeoff, runway 1 for ramp.
Back to 1700.
Yeah, back to 1700.
And then add 4 turns, right?
There you go. Alright, now magnetos.
Left magneto, got 75 drop. Back to both. Right magneto, got a drop. Both.
Yeah, it's a little drop. Not much. I like it. T's and T's real quick. Pressure looks good. Temp looks good. Vacuum's in the green. Ammeter is neutral.
It's barely in the green, but it's in the green.
Yeah, you'll see it'll go further to green when you're at takeoff power. Because remember, that vacuum pump's engine driven.
Okay, now back to
Yeah, back off to idle and then do 1,000.
all the way. Oh, didn't check the carb heat.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get that. Good catch. Good drop.
All right, now come to idle and check it again, right?
Yep.
All the way idle.
All the way to idle.
What? Okay.
Yep, that's that vacuum pump being
All
slow.
right, so a little drop.
It'll drop, the engine still runs. Perfect.
Yep.
Back to 1,000. Okay, killer items. Gas is on both.
Yep.
Trim is set for takeoff.
Yep.
Flaps are set where we want them, where they think they are, which is at
Okay,
up
departure
all the way.
9, so you
And let's go back ourselves up real quick before we do lights, camera, action. So before takeoff.
Parking. Well, we don't.
We didn't need that. We were holding the brakes.
Cabin doors and windows. The
Okay.
doors shut.
Yeah,
When
I'll
look at the
doors when
windows.
we taxi here.
Flight controls free and correct. Flight instruments.
Yep,
We
looks
set
happy.
that. Fuel selector valves on both. Mixture rich.
We've actually got it set for
Yeah.
best power with our density altitude.
Elevator trim and rudder trim, we're set. Throttle, 1700. We already did that.
Yeah.
Magnetos we checked. Carburetor heat we checked. Ammeter good. Suction gauge there. Throttle 1000 RPM or less.
And now basically you're at lights, camera, action, right?
Okay, so
camera's
lights-
already on, lights,
we don't-
strobe, and landing.
You don't need a strobe?
Yeah, go ahead and bring that on because we're going to pull on the runway next. So strobe and landing.
Okay, that's lights, and then camera. Okay, is the alt.
And then action will flip up to COM 1. Actually, we're going to stay on COM 2 because we're going to tell them we want to finish taxiing.
And this is still ground right here?
Yeah. They're going to have us
So that's
contact
COM
tower
1.
here pretty quickly because we're going to tell them we'll be ready at the end.
Alright, strobe lights are on. Throttle friction lock.
The little ring right there. Makes the
How do
throttle
you check-
looser or
how do you
tighter.
check that?
There's no checking. It's just adjusted if you want it looser or
Alright,
tighter.
so check the brakes, right? Alright.
I just said brakes release. Assume you're getting ready to take off.
Okay. So we're done there, right?
Yep, I'm gonna let them know we're ready to continue.
Okay, 0 Foxtrot, roger, contact tower, continue taxing.
Okay, okay, continue.
Skyhawk 1080 Foxtrot, wake your tower, runway 1, clear for takeoff, wind 0204, gust 12.
You don't get to do that often in a piston. Wait, we'll be ready reaching the end of the runway. Okay, we're clear for takeoff. We don't have to hold? Yep, wait, he's already told us we're clear. Like I said, you're living the jet life right now.
Cessna 80 Foxtrot, northwest
Awesome.
departure approved.
Waco ground, citations. Citation 646 Romeo Hotel, Waco ground.
Yes, sir, I'd like to pick up an I-5.
Final looks clear.
Yep.
Romeo 8, please.
Citation 646
Go do some stalls. Let's go do some stalls.
The full airport is filed. On departure flying, we head to maintain 3000, expect flight level 450, 10 minutes after. Departure frequency 126.12, squawk 6256.
Ready? I'm ready.
We're cleared as filed, runway heading.
Who's on the floorboard?
Within 10 minutes, 126.12, 6256 on the squawk. Citation 646 Romeo Road.
Citation 6 Romeo, tell me back, track 53, taxi Lima. Full clear, runway 19 Lima.
Alright. Leaving 1,200 feet, we're going to turn left to 330. And we're going to continue our climb to 3,500. Alright, I heard the 3,500. What'd you say for 230? I didn't say anything about 230. When we leave 1,200 feet, we're going to turn left heading 330.
Okay, 330.
And then we're going to continue to climb to 3,500. Yeah, I can tell you all that now because you have permission to use the instruments.
Okay.
Just not exclusively. See if we can find some relatively smooth, cool air to go play in here.
So 1,200, we're going to break for 330.
Exactly. And let's get you to the same altitude that we would normally turn crosswind at before we leave the pattern.
Alright, there's 1,200.
Alright, here we go. Right there. Let's pick that nose up just a little bit more and hold a climb attitude. And your super complicated climb checklist. Airspeed 7885, throttle full, mixture adjust. Not quite as smooth as it was the other day. No. Sorry though. Starting to get that little bit of rising air once ground heating up.
A little down trim, I think. I'm having to fight it.
Okay.
Better.
500, I want you to get us trimmed up for 2200 RPM and 100 knots.
Day 0 Foxtrot, say altitude climbing to. Day 0 Foxtrot, Roger. Pretty straight to prove, have a good day. Just also there's a Cessna to the southwest of your position. He's at 3000 doing a VOR approach in the Waco. Roger.
I don't see that Cessna he's talking about.
He's going to be coming out this way and then going back in towards the airport. He's doing an IFR practice approach, so we're going to keep it at least 500 feet above him. We'll be at and above 3,500. Hey, like I said, when we reach 3,500, I want you to level us and trim us for 2,200 RPM and 100 knots. Just for practice sake, because we're going to be slowing down real quick afterwards, but it'll be a good practice of getting it trimmed up with integrated flying outside and inside.
Okay.
Nosebleeds. I haven't been this high in a while.
My ears are starting to pop a little bit. A little bit more. Almost there.
Pitch down, power to trim.
Pitch down. There's 1/3. Power to 2200.
Now let the airspeed come up first. You'll never hit your speed if you pull that power back. There we go. Now as you approach the speed, now you can set your power, then your trim.
There's 2200, and then trim. Pretty good right there, I think.
Okay. So since we're going to be doing some maneuvering, we're going to clear the area visually first. So we're going to do kind of two things. We're going to do a clearing turn, but it's also going to allow you to practice an integrated level turn. Let's do a left 360 and maintain 3,500.
Airport 6, Wicked Tower. Airport 6, cross taxiway Delta, back to the ramp. Airport 6, cross taxiway Delta, back to the ramp. Airport 6, cross the Delta to the ramp.
Keep your angle consistent outside and everything will be consistent inside.
Tower ramp flight 9 is back with you, airport in sight. Put in flight 9 on Waco Tower and left down runway 1. You can expect if able, can you do a short approach? Yes, sir, we can. Flight 9 make short approach runway 1 clear to land. You're inside a regional jet, 15 miles to the north. clear to land on 1 for ramp now, thank you. West Tower 46 clear, Delta back from the ramp. Thank you for your help, sir. Have a good day. 46 Roger.
I lost about 40 feet. Alright, almost back to 330.
You're inside a 50-foot loss right there. Looks good. Just about dead on. Okay, I didn't see any traffic. There was one twin Cessna who was heading south, but he's already on with Tower Landing, so he's not a factor. So we'll
I wasn't even looking for traffic.
Yeah, you were flying. I know. That's why I was looking. Alright, so we're just going to maintain altitude here. Now that we've done our traffic clearing, we're just going to check for configuration. Big thing here is the gas on both, because they want it on both for maneuvering. And it is, so we're good. So with that, my controls.
Your controls.
My controls. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to slow us down and pretend that we just took off. So what's that speed range they give us for a climb? 70 to 85. What if I slow it down to 70? So to do that, I'm bringing the power back to about 1900 RPM. I'm going to add back pressure to slow us down. So basically I'm going to slow down without losing altitude. Does that make sense?
Yes.
When I reach 70, I'm going to add full power. And I'll sort of talk you through what I'm looking at there. Right now, I'm eyeballing the instruments, but I'm really looking over that glare shield, over that cowling. There's 70. Here comes full power. And I'm just going to start pulling. I'm not doing anything dramatic, right? I'm looking off into space over that cowling, and my eyeballs are going back to that ball every once in a while. But if I look off into space, it kind of forces me to use my peripheral vision to keep these wings level as best I can. There's the stall horn. Nose drops. I lower the nose. Passing 70, we got good speed. We can pull back into a normal climb now because we were near the ground, right? That happened.
Yeah.
And now we've recovered from the stall and re-entered our climb. I'm gonna give it back to you, right back where you had trim for.
Tower runway 3219.
Okay, your controls.
My control.
Your controls. Hand on that throttle.
219, Wicked Tower.
Okay, I want you to try this. I want you to bring that power to 1900. Start easing those controls back and slow it to 70 while maintaining altitude. And remember, this is mostly a visual maneuver, so we're going to be looking outside and glancing inside. We're going to be about 80% out here and about 20% in here. As you reach 70, go ahead and apply full power. You're going to need some right rudder. That's excessive. Look at the ball. Just enough is all you need. Now go ahead and start adding back pressure. Just sort of looking off into space over that cowling. That's going to force you to use your peripheral vision. So we're leveling the wings with peripheral vision. Shouldn't take any big inputs. And we're glancing at that ball out of the corner of our eyes, making sure we're coordinated. Keep on pulling back.
Start traffic over the numbers, runway 3219.
Affirmative.
Keep on pulling back. Keep on pulling back. Keep on pulling. We'll get a horn here momentarily.
Flight 9, turn right at Bravo, contact ground point 9.
Ground point 9, ramp 9.
Keep on pulling. Come on. She's almost there. She's coming on the ball. You're not getting the horn. We're going to keep on pulling until it actually breaks.
Ball's not moving. I'm pushing right, but turning me right though.
Oh, we go ahead and recover. Go ahead and lower that nose. So all we really did there was climb 800 feet.
Look at the speed of 70,
Yep.
and then pull back.
Yep.
Level flight.
Now we were pointing at that when we entered it, right?
Yeah. I was hitting right rudder trying to get that ball.
How much time were you spending on the instruments?
Probably too much.
That's why the turn happened. Okay, I'm on demo 1 more, my controls.
Your controls.
My controls. Remember how I was talking about you give it time to get weird, it will?
Yeah.
That's what happened. You know, we can come back a little bit more assertively, and we need to get those eyeballs outside. Because believe it or not, this is a harder maneuver to do with your eyeballs inside too much. I'm just going to start us at 4, just so we're at a nice round altitude.
Okay.
All right, there comes 4. Bring my power back. I'm even going to give me a little bit of nose up trim just to help things along here.
Okay, just confirm landing clearance for runway 3219, runway 1.
Runway 3219, runway 1, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 1, runway 3219.
Here comes 70. Here comes my power. Look at where I'm looking. My eyeballs.
Yeah.
I'm glancing at that ball. But I have to use my peripheral if I'm looking up here. Over the nose. It's all over.
Citation 646, Romeo Hotel.
I'm going to go ahead and bring us back down to 4 just so we got a nice round number for you here. Instead of doing the whole climb out thing.
Citation 6 Romeo Hotel, hold position. Have a choice of attack to depart to the ramp, hangar right next to you.
Now you do have some nose up trim in there, so it's going to be some back pressure when I give it to you. Your controls?
My controls.
Your controls.
Once that traffic passes you, runway 1.
Go ahead and let it slow itself to 70.
Okay, once the traffic comes fast up, we taxi to the 01 via Delta, 6 Romeo Hotel.
There's 70.
Alright, full power. It's a touch more right rudder. That'll be darn near right. That feels pretty good. A little bit more. You can see that nose wanting to scoot left a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Come on, baby. A little bit more right rudder. Hold the rudder in there.
Runway 3219,
Almost there.
available turn right off 2, contact ground point enter.
Almost there.
We got altitude ground point 9 over 3219.
Hold that right rudder. We're almost there. Give it just a little bit more back pressure. There it goes, over the nose.
3219, clear 1 at altitude.
Envoy 3219.
There's 70. Level flight again. That was a little scary.
Well, you notice why it went to the left a little bit? That ball at the very end was about 3/4 scale outside, and I went ahead and forced that nose over because of the tendency of a student pilot is to go fighting it with bank, and I don't want you to do that and scare yourself. There's no reason for that. So, let's do one more. I want to see if we can get that ball a little bit closer to center at the very end, and you'll see that wing won't have that tendency to want to roll over like that.
Is it okay to do it at 4,500?
Yeah, it's fine. Then we're going to get turned around and start working on some slow flight.
1900. With off the speed.
3219, you have that citation and off your left side.
Affirmative, Envoy 3219.
Envoy 3219, once that traffic passes, you may taxi to depart.
Waco Tower, Cessna 22467 is inbound on the VOR 14 approach.
Cessna 22467, Waco Tower, runway 14, cleared low approach at above 1,100.
Alright, there's 70.
Alright, let's put the first to it.
About 1100, Cessna 22467.
Your hand on that throttle. A little bit more right rudder.
You're at American Pilot Academy. Roger, I'm sorry, runway 34, taxi to Charlie Alpha.
Roll that nose down. There you go. See? It dropped the wing a little bit again because we still didn't have quite enough right rudder in there. But when you push the nose down, the problem's solved, right?
Right.
So what's the moral of the story? If we recover from the stall, if we solve the problem, we ain't got a problem, right?
Right.
Why don't you bring us down to 4,500 and give us make it a right turn to 150 while you're in that descent. That gives us a good chance to clear the area here.
Sorry. Say it again.
Right turn to 150.
150.
And back down to 4,500.
Alright, so I want half and half on my
There
right.
you go. We're going to move on and get the slow flight demo and the power off stalls introed here. Obviously, you're going to see those power ons again, and the main idea for both of these stall types on this flight is to demo them to you, kind of get you desensitized, show you what it takes, and you got to be a little bit inattentive to power on stall this thing, right? I mean, you had to work to get it to stall.
Yeah.
You can be a little bit more aggressive with a turn if you want to. But you see what I mean about that temptation? 4,500 levels off. Use your power. That temptation to fight that wing dropping with the aileron when you really don't need to.
Waco Tower, Citation 646 Romeo Hotel, hold it short, 01, ready to go.
Citation 646 Romeo Hotel, Waco Tower, runway 1, clear for takeoff, traffic, Skyhawk.
Alright, there's 4,500.
Okay, back on around, right turn to 150. I'm going to keep on checking for traffic. U-holes at 4,500. You got some nose up trimming there. If it's not too bad, just leave it because we're going to need it for what we're doing next. If you're having to fight too much, you can always roll some in there. But I will have to mess it up again.
A lot of water coming out of that lake.
There is. Yeah, they've slowed Waco down a little bit, but this one's been flowing at that capacity for a good week and a half. Just a little bit more turn. There you go. I think you're coming inside trying to peg it at standard rate.
Yeah, that's
Spend
exactly
a
what I'm
little
doing.
bit less time inside.
150 you said, right?
Yep. Alright, I don't see any traffic. Again, the big configuration item here is we're going to be maneuvering again. We're going to leave that fuel on both. And my controls.
Your control.
My controls. Alright, now I want to slow us down. So, first thing I'm going to do is bring that power back a little bit further than I did last time. I'm going to say 1,700. I think that'd probably be a good place to start. Now, I'm below that green arc by a good mile, so I'm going to turn the carburetor heat on for now, too. I'm below 100, so I can start putting flaps out. I'm going to go at 10 degrees first. And now I'm on the backside of the power curve, so I'm going to have to control my airspeed with my pitch and my altitude with my power, but I can't stare in here and do that. I got to find a sight picture out here that's working correlated in here. I'm going to go ahead and start adding a little bit more power. Let's call it 1850, just so we don't sink. I'm going to go ahead and come in with the rest of the flaps now, because we're in the white arc. So now we're at full flaps, and we are teetering on the edge. I'm going to bring us down to the bottom of the green arc here, so about 50 knots. Now you notice, you can probably feel through the airplane I'm having to add some right rudder, right?
Yeah.
If I don't, where does it go? Look at that. That's very noticeable, isn't it?
That's because of engine torque, because we're going so slow, or?
It's engine torque, it's all those left turning tendencies, all three of the ones that we experience in the dry gear.
Yeah.
I'm going to add a little bit more power. Of course, when I add power, where does that nose want to go? It wants to go up. So I got to manage that too. I'm going to give us just a little bit of nose down trim. And with you and me in here, it's probably going to take 2,000 plus to stay level. If I get inside that green arc, I'll bring that carb heat back off. But for now, we're good. Now we are trying to juggle bowling pins while standing on a halfway inflated beach ball right now. That's how the airplane feels. And you get this over-banking tendency. It feels like it just wants to go on me, but I don't have much on the other end to pick that wing up. So if I roll into a turn, look at how much slower I'm going to do this. And I'm not referencing anything in here except for my speed and my ball and my altitude. I'm going to find a picture out here that's just a really nice, slow, manageable turn. We are very vulnerable right now. Do we need to get assertive in our maneuvering? No. We want to take it slow, because right now those ailerons don't like me very much.
Right. Let me ask you something. When you keep saying we're below 100, so it's okay to put the flaps, but I thought it was the top of the white arc. That's the
The
flaps.
first 10 is actually below 110, and the rest of them are in the white arc. Most of your Cessnas have got 2 flap speeds. See them on the handle here?
Ah, I see. Okay. Didn't realize that.
I'm gonna turn back towards the airport now. I'll probably be heading about 180, and then we're gonna demo a couple of stalls here. But again, everything I'm doing is real slow. Now, I'm holding numbers right, but how much am I staring in here? I'm not. I'm still flying the airplane by saying, okay, what works for a sight picture right now? I'm holding right rudder in there, managing my speed, and look, I'm not gripping the controls, right? I'm going to use that runway right there at the airport as a reference for my heading. And then here's what I want to do. I got a couple of different ways I could enter a power off stall. One thing I could do is just idle the power here and hold up the horizon. I could also idle the power and let it enter and glide like I'm on short final. So I'll do that. I'll bring the power to idle. I'm going to let that nose drop. We'll go 60 knots, just like we're on short final. And then what if I don't have an engine and I'm trying to clear a fence? So I'm going to pull that nose up and say, clear that fence. Clear it, clear it, clear it. Come on, clear that fence, clear that fence, clear that fence. Come on, baby, clear it, clear it, clear it, clear it, clear it. There's the stall horn. And there's the stall. Nose down, full power, car P comes off. Pull the nose, add below the horizon. I've got speed back, right? Yep. So I'll start milking my flaps out, 10 degrees at a time. Why would I not want to pump all those flaps out at once?
I'm too much of a drop, you're going too slow.
I'm near the ground, and I just recovered from a stall. Do I want to change the camber of the wing that much and sink right back into that which I didn't want to hit in the first place?
Right.
Yeah, wouldn't be a good idea. I'm going to show you one more stall type here, that base to final stall. So I'm going to reconfigure the airplane for slow flight now. Power is going to come back to 17 again. We're already in the white arc as a matter of fact, so just to save time, I'm going to go ahead and go full flaps. RP is going to come on. I'm going to slow us down to 50 again. There's 50. So now, what if I did the same thing in my base to final turn that I just did? So power comes to idle. Here comes 60. I'm going to pitch for the horizon first. I'm going to roll just a real shallow coordinated turn. This doesn't have to be anything violent. We're not trying to scare anybody here. There's the brake. Power on, car P'd off. Hold that nose down, speed comes back up through 60. And again, flaps come up 10 degrees at a time.
And when you say brake, that's when it breaks over, kind of.
Yeah, it just popped a little bit. It wasn't anything real scary or aggressive or anything. Alright, all the flaps are up now. And what we'll do, I'll bring it down to 4,000 just so you got a nice round altitude to hold when I give it to you for slow flight. I'm just going to line us up on that runway for now because it's a real handy reference point. We're way above anybody who'll be on this approach here. Okay, your controls.
My controls.
Your controls. Alright, so let's get the airplane slowed down first. So go bring that power to about 17, bring that car P'd on. You're in the green arc, so you can go ahead and start adding, or sorry, white arcs, all the flaps you want. All the way? Yeah, you can go put them all the way out. Now we're going to have to add power as required to maintain 4,000, and we're going to have to start letting that nose come up to slow the airplane down to 15. You're going to feel that need through your feet for right rudder. You'll see it too. You got a good reference up there, and you don't want to see that nose kicking against that runway. You're eventually going to need to end up at about 2,000 RPM to keep the airplane from wanting to sink on us here. And feel how sluggish it feels?
Yeah.
Slow down those control wheel movements a little bit.
Okay, just really...
Yeah, because we don't want to add any wing loading we don't have to. The idea
losing
here is
altitude.
we're going to have to add some power. Power for altitude, right? Pitch for rear speed, power for altitude. I told you you're going to have about 2,000 RPM to keep us aloft or to keep us at altitude here. It feels nasty, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Quit fighting it with the control wheel. Add some power, you're sinking.
I'm not going as slow as you were, though.
Well, you need to slow us down some more. How are you going to do that? You got to pitch up? Nope.
Oh,
Power's not going to slow you down. pitch for airspeed.
Okay.
Power for altitude. So
Alright.
you're going to pitch up to slow down. You're going to need right rudder. You better hold that right rudder in there and add a little bit of power, a little bit of time, just to see if we can arrest that sink rate. She's just telling you, hey, you got me kind of on the bubble here, dude. I'm gonna chirp at you and make sure you're aware of what you're doing. That's why that Sawhorn did that. Relax that left hand a little bit. You got a little bit of white knuckle syndrome going on. That's why you're tending to over control just a little bit. There you go. She says, I'm gonna sing you the song of my people if you're gonna find me this slow. Alright, let's see if you can give me a real slow 90-degree turn to the right. Don't get in a hurry, don't get aggressive, don't bank super steep, because you're not going to have anything to counter it with. See that?
Yeah.
You're still sinking, and we're still a little bit fast. You have to use your left hand to fix that speed, and your right hand to fix that altitude. And just take your time in this turn. We're vulnerable, we don't need to be in a hurry here. Still sinking, still not slow enough. Pitch up to slow down, add some power to keep yourself from sinking. When you get bumped around that corner like that, you just don't have anything on that left side, do you?
Wow.
Now look at your speed. We're supposed to be doing 50.
We're way up
Between
there.
45 and 50, and you're almost to 60. You're gonna have to use that pitch. You can use the pitch trim if you need to as well to hold that nose where it's supposed to be.
Still want me turning though, right?
I'm gonna have you turn back towards Lake Waco now. But my big thing is I want you to arrest that sink rate and slow the airplane down. You're gonna have to use pitch to control that speed and power to control that altitude. Still about 5 knots hot. So we'll have to pick that nose up just a little bit more. There we go. And again, we're just going to take our time on this left turn too. The airplane wants to go left because the left turn tendencies are really showing themselves right now. But we're still about 10 knots hot. Let's see if we can't pick that nose up just a hair more. Find you a sight picture if you can outside. It'll help you maintain just the bottom of that green arc where you'll be hanging out right now. When you go back and look at your foot, you're going to see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll out, just point towards the dam right here. See how little directional control you got right now? You got to use those feet.
Absolutely.
And we're still hot. I hope when you go back and review your game film, you can see where that green arc is on that gauge, and you'll see exactly what I'm on about right now.
Yeah, I can. Not doing very good, am I?
I think you're probably spending a little bit too much time inside chasing numbers instead of trying to find a picture out here that holds the numbers. That'll come with practice. But you can also tell, if you find a reference point like the dam out there, you can tell when that nose wants to go start sliding off to the left, because that's what it's going to do when you're pitched up like this, is it wants to go left on you.
Alright, there's a pretty good speed right there, right?
And go, yeah, you're just about where I want you to be. Well, let's go ahead and get a stall or two knocked out here. So go ahead and idle that power and gently lower that nose. Just, again, head towards the dam here. And let yourself accelerate to 60. All the way out? Yeah. Let yourself accelerate to 60 and then gently keep your feet on those pedals. Gently bring that nose back up to the horizon. All the way to idle with the power and then hold that nose on the horizon. Pick it up. Up, 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 up. All the way to the horizon. Don't let that nose leave the horizon. You're thinking, gotta clear the fence. Gotta clear the fence. Gotta clear the fence. Gotta clear it. 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 A little bit more back pressure. Dam's over here. How do I get over there? I'm gonna get the controls with you.
Okay.
Right. There it is. Feel it?
Yep.
Alright, so full power, get rid of the car repeat. Hold that nose down. Alright, you got flying speed, right? So go ahead and bring those flaps up 10 degrees at a time. Don't let that nose go above the horizon until all those flaps are up. Alright, as you finish the recovery, let's make a right-hand 180. We're over the top of the Delta. I just don't want to be right over the top of the airport while we're doing this stuff. We're going to get set up and do one more stall, and I'm going to demo that accelerated stall too before it's all said and done. And we can go to 3,500 on the altitude, so that we're a good 500 feet above that class Delta.
There's 3,500.
Okay, and go ahead and level us off and level us out of turn right here, and then when I get you set up, I'll give you another turn. Okay, I want to get set up for slow flight.
So we trim it out or no?
We're not going to trim because we're going to set up for slow flight again right now. So go ahead and bring that power back to 1700, car repeat on. You're already in the almost to the white arc. We're below 110. Go one notch of flaps here. Gonna pick that nose up a little bit, and that's fine because that's gonna help arrest some of the sink we got going on right now. Now go put the rest of your flaps out. Alright, now go ahead and start adding some power now so you don't sink. That's gonna pitch the nose up, which you want, right? Because you're trying to slow it to 50 anyway.
Yeah. Now is there only 2 clicks, 1 click, 2 click? That's it?
There's 3 clicks. There's a detent right here for 10, and then it wedges out a little bit for 20, and then you get 30 right there, that little baby wedge.
Okay.
It came from the factory with 40, but they've actually taken that 40 degree option away here. Add a little bit more power just to arrest that little bit of stink you got. Alright, we're just going to give you one more straight ahead stall because I want to end on a good stall for you.
Okay.
Go ahead and idle it. Lower that nose to 16. Pick a reference out there. There's a shiny building out there almost the horizon, right? When we pick that nose up, we're just going to fly towards that. We're going to pick that nose up to the horizon and fly the airplane in that direction.
I wanted to go. There it is.
Bring it on up. We're going to get a good quality brake here. We're going to lower the nose immediately upon the brake. We're going to add full power. We're going to get rid of the car repeat. You're applying a little bit too much right road. That's why the nose is going right. Almost there. A little bump. A little more back pressure. We're not going to cross control this thing. My controls?
Your controls.
Here's a highway. We're going to use this as a reference. do it one more time with you on the controls.
My control.
Your controls. It does take some pull. It does not want to stall with that Horton kit on it. There, almost there. Highway's over here. We got room for one more stall that we're going to have to recover.
Waco ground, envoy 3219, looking for IFR to Dallas, Fort Worth, Lima.
Envoy 3219, Waco ground, cleared to Dallas, Fort Worth International Airport is filed. Departure finally heading maintain 3000, expect 12000, 10 minutes after.
Come on, go!
126.12, squawk 5152.
There's the brake. You feel it? Yeah. Little bump. Lower the nose.
Says filed,
Full power.
up to tree.
Get ready to car repeat.
Expect 12000, 10 minutes, departure frequency 126.12.
Alright, build those flaps up. Keep that nose added below the horizon. One notch at a time. What time do you have to be out of here?
I don't have any time scheduled at
Okay.
all.
Get rid of the rest of your flaps. We're going to go towards Lake Whitney over here. We're going to get a 3,000 feet. We're going to do one more thing. That airflow always feels nice when it comes back.
Yeah.
You're sweating a little bit.
In the summertime when it's like 105, I mean, is it even enjoyable at that point, or
No. It's fine to get up and go someplace and be at cruise altitude, but being down here low teaching in a Cessna in the summertime just sucks. The Cub's not bad because I leave the door open. But you don't think about how hot it gets in the cockpit. So you roll off the runway and pop those windows open and it's like,
Yeah.
Then you realize that's 108 degree air that feels good. Because it's coming off that pavement, right? But it's moving 108 degree air, which is better than what it was. A steep turn, then I want to have you do a steep turn too, just so you can feel it. A steep turn is just a 45 degree bank angle turn instead of standard rate.
which is right in between there?
Yeah, the hash mark will be right between the two big fat ones there.
Yeah.
And so what are you going to feel? You're going to feel the G's, because we're going to be pulling 1.5 G's instead of 2 G, or instead of 1 G in a steep turn. So in order to keep my nose on the horizon and not lose altitude, what am I going to have to do? Pull back. Well, I'm going to leave adequate power in there the first couple and just make it a regular little steep turn. So I don't see any traffic there. Roll into a 45-degree bank, keep it as coordinated as we can. Here comes 45 degrees, a little bit of power. You can feel it, right?
Yeah. Now you're beyond 45 though, aren't you?
I'm at about 45, between 45 and 50. Now find a point where
Oh, this hash mark, I see it.
Yeah.
Never mind.
find a point out here where I'm holding the horizon. Probably on that, about that line of rivets that runs away from you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe a little
So
bit.
if I let that nose drop, what do I do? I lose altitude. I gotta add back pressure, right? I can't let go of back pressure.
Right.
Now roll out of it with a little bit of forward pressure, because now as I roll out, I'm getting some vertical lift back, right? Alright, now to the right, that corner of your cowling is going to be on the horizon. The right one usually sucks because we get about halfway into our bank and then we remember, oh yeah, I was supposed to add rudder. So you add the rudder as you roll into it, keep it coordinated, and it's not a problem. But if you get into a turn and then add rudder, where's the nose going to want to go? Down. Well, I don't want the nose to go down. But I'm more or less keeping that corner of your engine cowl on the horizon, right?
So say that one more time. You want to add rudder before you do the turn, or
Add rudder like you would add it in any other turn. We're turning a lot steeper than normal, which calls for more rudder than normal. What happens is if you forget and add rudder too late, where did that nose go?
Yeah,
Down.
wants to go down.
Yeah.
I see. Like doing a knife edge almost.
Yeah. I'm going to have you do a couple of those normal steep turns first, just so you can feel that wing loading through the controls.
Okay.
It's mostly out here. Yeah, I don't want to lose any altitude, but the only way I'm going to really make that happen is by holding the reference point out here.
So you check, and just keep it on here.
Yeah, and I'm going to look at that about once, and as long as I've got a sight picture that's holding that bank angle, I'm probably not coming back in here. I'm going to look at the altimeter more than anything else. But mostly, where is my cowling?
Okay.
Okay, your controls. Your controls. Handle that throttle as well. I want you to roll into a left-hand one first, and we'll do a left 360. You're going to have to be pretty assertive with that bank, and you're going to feel that nose wanting to go down. But you know what your reference is. It's that line of rivets out there. More bank. More bank. You're just past 30. More bank. There we go. That's about 45. Now you can feel that nose wanting to go down, right?
Yeah.
You let go of some of the bank too. You're right at 30 right now. Give me some bank, 45. You're pulling back on the power too. You need that power. Bring that power back to where you had it, about 2200. More bank. More bank. That's 45 right there.
Holy crap.
Uh-huh.
Jeez. What's the wing loading on these wings again?
That's plus 3.8. We're doing plus 1.5. There's your lake right there below your turn. But you can feel it through the controls, right?
Wow, yeah, that's...
Back to the lake. So by the time we're doing your check ride, you're going to be able to do these without losing any altitude whatsoever.
So how did I lose altitude on that one?
We actually gained a little bit of altitude, mostly because we never really got the bank consistent at 45. Now this one's going to be even more awkward. You're on the wrong side of the airplane.
Yeah, okay. So, here we go.
So roll into a coordinate, use the rudder as you roll into it. Keep the corner of your cowling on that horizon. Be a little bit more assertive on the bank than you think you ought to be. Now, on your side of the airplane, your natural tendency is going to want to be to lean against that turn, right? Stay with the airplane.
Okay.
Airplane goes where Brandon goes.
Is that 45?
That's almost 45, a little bit more. Now, where is that going to drive the nose when you roll bank in? It's going to drive the nose down. So add the bank and then add the back pressure. There you go. A little bit more bank, you let go of it. Every time you let go of bank, you gain altitude. Because you're getting back wing loading that you didn't plan on. Or giving up wing loading you didn't plan on giving up. We're right at 30 right now. 45 is right there.
Holy crap.
Yep. Just keep on going. We're going to do one more full turn at 45. Now what you see right now, if you hold what you got, is in the groove, right? You're kind of on the step, like being up on the water on a pair of skis.
Yeah.
When you get it like that, it's so stupid easy. Now you're like, go to bank again, get it back into 45. Keep it on that step, keep it in that sweet spot, and it's real easy.
Like that right there.
Yeah. A little bit more bank, see how that nose is coming up? Because you're holding the same back pressure without the wing loading. Here comes your lake. Almost there, so start rolling out and add some forward pressure because now you're going to get a bunch of vertical lift back. And there you go. There's a steep turn. That was not a bad one. That was pretty fun, actually. Yeah. It's kind of cool when you get it over in the step like that. So, on average, if we're maintaining that 45-degree bank, we'll pull an inch and a half. You can feel it in your butt. You can feel it in the controls. And what are you having to do to counteract that? You're having to pull. Right. Does that make more sense to show you that and then tell you that adding wing loading increases the stall speed? Because now to keep the airplane level, what have I got to do? I got to eat angle of attack, right? Right. Okay, so now let's try that. My controls. Your controls. My controls. I'm going to do a steep turn, but I'm going to do it with too little power. So if I got too little power and I'm pulling back to hold it level, what's going to happen? It's probably going to stall. Yeah, go down. So we're going to do it at 1500 RPM. I'm going to roll into a 45-degree bank. Nose is trying to drop on me. You're going to hear the stall horn go off. Hear it? Yeah. What speed's it going off at? About 50. Okay. What's it supposed to stall power on at? Bottom of the green arc. Accelerated stall. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yes. Yes. All kind of adds up when you see that, doesn't it? Uh-huh. Alright. Your controls. My controls. Your controls. Got the airport in sight. You're set up for a 45-degree entry to a downwind to runway 1. Does that make sense? Because runway 1 goes back that way. Yep. Alright, you can go ahead and give us a nice shallow descent to 1,500. I'm going to go ahead and give them a horn with power.
For left base. Husky 32, circle south of the field, enter left base, runway 1, cleared for the option, wind 030 at 7. Circle south of left base, clear for the option. Scott 1080 Foxtrot, wake attack. Scott 80 Foxtrot, roger, sir. Waco altimeters 3001, enter left downwind runway 1, report entering the left downwind, sir.
Alright, so do you see where all the hangars are, where Texas Zero is and everything? Yep. Aim us just a little bit to the left of that because the wind's trying to push you to the south. And we'll keep this descent going. Meanwhile, remember that GUMPS check since we're inbound to land. Gas is on both, undercarriage is down. Mixture is set, we're not going to mess with it. Power set for your descent. We'll get the car repeat when we're being the numbers. And belts are on. So we are prepared for landing. I kind of enjoy steep turns. Some people hate them. I like them. Well, that's kind of terrifying the first time you do it. But yeah, then you realize oh wait, if I get in a sweet spot, it's kind of easy. Yeah. That's one of the maneuvers that an examiner will look at too. A lot of examiners anyway, they'll say, okay, is this guy just an okay guy, or is he a pretty good pilot? If your steep turns are good and coordinated and consistent, and if your slips, which you're going to learn those ad nauseum from me, because I like slipping, if those two maneuvers look good, both of the guys I use are like, okay, it's a pretty good stick. Well, it just shows you can control the airplane. Yeah, I mean, it's just like we're working on a slow flight. Yeah, I'm trying to get you in a position to stall, but what am I really trying to get you to do? Make the airplane do what you want. And it takes some experience and a little bit of hard-headedness to say, no, damn it, I'm in charge, not the airplane. And once you get that mindset, it gets real easy. But the first time you're like, I don't know what's getting ready to happen here, I don't like this. That's right. It's hard to be in charge if you're thinking that. Yeah. But we got to rip that Band-Aid off, and that's what we did today. When I was a student pilot, I hated me some stalls. Really? They're kind of aggravating because when they don't happen, and that's the one drawback to that Horton kit is this thing takes an act of Congress to get it to stall. But that's good though. Oh yeah, it's very safe. It's gonna frustrate the bejesus out of Felix on your check ride. Really? It'll be funny because he's gonna force it to give you a good break and it'll probably sneak up on him a little bit. I'll tell you a story about that when we shut down. 1,500 feet, get ready for level off. Okay. I had a student with a 182 with the Horton kit on take a check ride, and very, yeah, Felix wouldn't mind if it's on YouTube. Perry, the student, said, that was the first time I ever saw a black man blush. It's because the way the airplane finally broke. Bring your power back up, level yourself off. And you can use any trimming aid as well. We can trim for it now, you know, when you're here, maybe it goes quite fast.
Not bad right now, actually. I mean,
Yeah, that's maybe a hair pitched up. Use your yoke to fix it and then trim for where you want it. Always show the airplane where you want it to be before you trim it. Because again, what's this? That was pitch power trim, right? Because we're always trimming for an attitude, a sight picture, and a power setting. When we get about the end of this little neighborhood right here, you can turn downwind. That'll be a pretty good...
this one here?
Yeah, this one right here.
Okay, 32, contact departure. We'll see ya. We'll see ya. Scout Gate 0, Foxtrot, runway 1, you're cleared to land, sir, wind 0206.
feet. We're going to demonstrate aircraft control all the way to the ground here.
I want to be going 19, right?
About, yeah. Now is that always going to work 100%? No, because there's always wind there, but that's a good general direction. We're always going to decide, all right, was the wind blowing us towards or away from the runway and grab the airplane one way or the other. There's not much wind to speak of right now, though. The big, fat, white stripes there that are just past the end of the hangars, that's the 1,000-foot markers of the aiming point. When we get parallel to them, you're going to go power 1500, carb heat on, flaps 10.
Okay. About right there?
Yep.
Power 1500, carb heat on,
Flaps 10. There we go. That's going to go ahead and get the airplane set up for a nice slow descent. And when those stripes are about 45 degrees behind you, so your chin's about on your shoulder looking at them, turn base.
Okay.
And go and keep your hand on that throttle. For my money, probably right about there.
Ground envoy 3219 is ready to taxi. Formation mic.
We're going to add a little bit of power back, bring it up to about 1700.
Runway 1, be Delta envoy 3219.
So what we're doing all the way around this pattern is adjusting ourselves so that we know once we turn final approach, the whole thing's a descent. I never want to have to be holding myself level on final or climbing on final. That gets me way too flat and that just does not set up a pretty landing. Okay? So I'm going to take it here because I want to fly the whole approach and call your attention to a couple things.
Your controls.
My controls.
You want me to ghost you?
Yeah, just to correlate a couple things from what we did. So think about, we came out of slow flight. So say we're at slow flight right now. And remember when I said, okay, we're going to set up for a stall, I'll idle the power and lower the nose? Here we are. Same position. Same exact position. I'm lined up at the runway, just like we were lined up with that highway. Now, I idle the power. The nose is lowered to a power-off glide. Of course, I'm a little bit hotter because I'm not trying to deliberately stall it high here. But I've got this descent going on, right? There's 3 phases to a landing. The descent, the level off, and the flare. And all we're doing is what we were doing at altitude with slow flight in that stall, and we happen to be combining it with a Dutch roll. That's it. So we're still in the descent. Now we're in the level off. Now here's where we said, okay, put the nose on the horizon. But it wouldn't stall yet, so I had to keep on pulling, and keep on pulling, and keep on pulling.
Right.
Until it finally stalled.
Right.
Exact same thing over the runway. Where's that in a Dutch roll? That's what we're going to be putting together. Dutch rolls and the stalls, and boom, you got landings.
See, okay.
I want you to keep all the back pressure in there on the roll right here. Your controls.
Turn right on Bravo and contact ground point 901 officer.
Once we get clear of the runway on Bravo, we'll stop the airplane, we'll clean it up, then we'll give ground a holler.
Wait for carb heat until you clean it up?
Yeah. I just don't like to go grabbing stuff unless I can actually look down at it. There's some cautionary tales there too. Alright, we'll bring it to a stop. Now we know
219 will be ready to reach.
the checklist is kind of sparse on your echo landing, so we're going to run a flow first and then make sure we get everything the checklist wants. So we know if we start right here closest to you, we'll get the landing light off and the strobes off.
3219.
Get the carb heat off.
3219 runway 1.
We'll verify we're leaned a little bit. That'll be sufficient for taxi. Bring the flaps up.
King Air at 3000.
Then we'll come up here and get the
You go all the way
transponder on
across
standby.
here.
Yeah, and then get the transponder on standby.
Look out for that.
And then they said go to ground, so we'll go to ground.
He is eastbound to TSTC, sir.
Now we'll make sure we got what Cessna wants.
Minute and a half.
Not much here.
Thanks.
You bet.
Stage landing, flaps up, carb heat, cold, transponder standby. So we did that and then some. So we're on ground now, get our taxi clearance.
Skyhawk 1080 Foxtrot, wake of ground, taxi to parking via Delta.
So now we got our clearance, so off we go.
And let me ask you something, you know, you keep track of all my flight hours, but how do I keep track of the hours on the plane?
The tachometer hours.
That's it right there?
Yep. Now, unfortunately, the only really hour-based thing you as the owner are worrying about is, hey, every 50 tach hours I want to get an oil change. Now, your mechanic, Jeff, is going to look at your tach hours when he drags it in for an annual and for an oil change and say, hey, is there any intervals on the airworthiness directives that are dictated by tachometer hours? If there's something that's major that's tied to tach hours on ADs, he's going to tell you, hey, every so many hours on the tach we're supposed to bring it in and comply with this AD. But the big thing is, hey, every 50 hours we get an oil change. There's no 100-hour inspection for you because you're not operating the airplane for hire.
Oh, really? Is that right?
Yeah, yours is just inspected every year.
That King traffic should be 2 o'clock and about 2.5 miles at 3,000. Should be no factor. But
So it's just the every 50 hour and just the annual every year, basically.
And 2000, number 3.
And then every 24 months you get your transponder and set access to
Wake
check.
up, Tiger 11902, we're over Shale, inbound runway 01.
Tiger 11902, Wake Tower, good afternoon, sir. Runway 1, you are cleared to land. Caution wake turbulence for an Embraer that just departed.
Clear to land, runway 1, caution wake turbulence, Tiger 11902.
Look at that, golf clutch right where we left it.
Hey, what is the rule? When I get my permit and all that, I can just park my car right there?
Yeah, you can park it right there. You can park it in your hangar if you want to. Yeah, the big thing is, as long as it's not in the middle of everything and it's not blocking somebody else's hangar, it's good. If I'm gonna fly someplace overnight, I'd probably put the car in the hangar.
So I want to kind of split these cracks. Is that right?
And then when you get to that inside corner with your wingtip, that's probably a good time to cut it.
Tell me when again, like right now?
That inside corner that forms the T right there, keep on going. Right about there is where I would cut it. Set up with the nose wheel just to the left of that crack right there. I think it's about where we need to be. Alright.
Is that okay?
So, the shutdown. Obviously we're going to skip the parking brake skip because we're going to push it, but...
Power switch off.
Yep.
worst case scenario, so we gotta be pretty uncoordinated for this thing to actually spin. And if we get over coordinated and have a wind drop, yeah, is that gonna happen occasionally? Yeah. How do I fix it? A little bit knows recover from the stall. It's not a big deal. That's why on that first one where your wing dropped, I was like, let's go ahead and recover. Because I've seen so many student pilots, they want to go fighting that thing. There's no reason to let you scare the crap out of yourself in your first stall.
I was watching a YouTube video and they were doing the stalls. The guy did just that. The wing dropped. He was in almost a spin.
They probably did this to fight it.
Yeah, he just went, and the whole left side dropped out and they were just going down.
My experience is, if that happens to you in your first stall, and I just show you, recover from the stall, you probably won't try that crap. If I let you try that crap, you scare yourself, and now I got to scare the stall in the